Today, I want to show you an application I've been testing for network migrations to validate devices, correlate MAC and ARP tables, and monitor cutovers. As you can see, the application is called PingPro, and this is the main page where you can either paste IPs and hostnames manually or structure them by panels and groups like server rooms, switches, or routers. But instead of manually building like MAC and ARP tables in Excel or running multiple scripts, you just drop raw outputs from different vendors like Cisco, HP, Arista, or even mixed environments, and it automatically correlates the interfaces with MAC, IP, and VLOOKUP. On the first page, you can enable the dark mode or the light mode, and you can configure your ping settings, enable sound alerts, or enable reverse DNS. Before going into the steps details, I want to show you my lab environment. I have two wireless and two wired distributions in VPC and two access layer switches uplinked to each of them. Getting back to the application, I will upload my raw output from the import button. I have two sources for ARP table, my wired and wireless distribution, and another two sources for the access switches, but I copied the wireless access switch one more time to show you another feature later on. Once the table is built, every device becomes instantly pingable with full visibility into the MAC address, vendor lookup, interface, and VLAN. This is very useful when monitoring like hundreds of devices during a cutover. You can also switch between grid view and vertical tabs view from here. And you can also move them around like if you want to. You can also enable filters to see your devices up or down only. What I found the most valuable doing the testing is the baseline toggle, which you can enable from here. And once you enable it, it's adding you another filter called changed. And from this point, if the cutover starts, whatever changes are happening to the network, the application is going to track. The moment you enable it, the app tracks networks deltas like unpingable devices, so you can immediately see what changed after the migration. I'm gonna close this tab because we don't need it. It was for grid purpose view only. And I'm gonna show you also the nodes feature. So basically, you can go on any device, like for example, let's say this one is gonna go down during the cutover, and you can add a node. If you troubleshoot it and you fix it, you can put like IP changed in the same VLAN. You save it, and from this point, you don't have to go back to it. To make it even easier, the applications allows you to export all the information into a CSV file, including IP address, ping statistics, MAC address, interfaces, and VLANs. So you can just export it from here, and I'm gonna show you exactly how it looks. Basically, you have the tab with panel, which shows you like the switches, IP, pings information, MAC, switch port, and VLAN. Here you can filter. What I usually do, I filter it and I pick by filters. If you add nodes, and you can see all the devices that you added nodes, or if something happened like during the cutover, it changed, like a device went down, it's gonna show up in yes here. And from this point, you have all the devices that went offline after the cutover. You can enable the dark mode from this page as well if you want. And another feature which I found like very useful is, for example, if you close the tab by mistake or you go back, you can restore the previous session. The first 500 users will receive lifetime access as part of the Pioneer program before it moves to a standard pricing model. Go on pingpro.io and claim one of the spots.